Hello guys, how are you? Welcome again to another class. As you know, today is Tuesday, right? And today we are starting the week. Not today, yesterday. But it's the beginning of the week. So guys, let's go again with the reading of today. Today we're gonna be reading more about Wonder Book. Don't forget to complete all your assignments, please. For those kids who haven't finished all their homeworks, please complete it and finish them. Please, I beg you guys. So let's go, guys, to going ahead with the reading of today. But today, first of all, we're going to see which one is the word of today. The word of today is fortune. Do you know what is fortune? Some of us we know, but I will going to tell you. I had a meeting. The word fortune is mentioned in today's reading. It can make change or look and the effect that it has on your life. Some people has a lot of money. So fortune is it is about of people who has a lot of money, a lot of money. So for example, had good fortune the other day when I found a 20 bills in the sidewalk. I got $20. Said that I feel fortunate because I got $20. So let's go, guys, with the reading today. So let's go ahead. So now let's go, guys. Today we're gonna be reading about the part four. Okay. Today we're gonna be focused since the points of view of Jack Will. So let's go into read. Now here is my secret. It is very simple. It is only with one's heart that one can see clearly. What is essential is visible to the eye. Antoinette, the Saint Exupéry, the Little Prince. So let's go with the reading. The call, the call. So I in August, my parents got this call from Mrs. Tushman, Mr. Tushman, the middle school director, and my mom said maybe he calls all the new students to welcome them. And my dad said that's a lot of kids he'd be calling. So my mom called him back and I could hear her talking to Mr. Tushman on the phone. This is exactly what she said. Oh, Mr. Tushman, this is Amanda. Will returning your call, please? Oh, thank you. That's so nice of you to say. He's looking forward to it. Pause. Yes. Pause. Yes. Oh, sure. Long pause. Oh, pause. Well, that's so nice of you to say. Pause, sure. Oh, wow. Oh, super long pause. I see, of course. I'm sure he will let me write it down. I got it. I called you after I had a chance to talk to him. Okay? Pause. No, thanks you for thinking of him. Bye bye. And when she hung up, I was like, what's up? What did he say? Mom said, well, it's actually very flattering, but kind of sad too. See, there's this boy who's starting middle school this year, and he's never been in a real school environment before because he was school humble. So Mr. Tushman talked to some of the lower school teachers to find out who they thought were some of the really, really great kids coming into fifth grade. And the teachers must be told him you were an special nice kid, which I already knew, of course. So Mr. Tushman is wondering if he could count on you to sort of shuffle this new boy around a bit, like letting him hang out with me, I said. Exactly, said Mom. He called it being welcome duty. But why me? I told you. Your teachers told Mr. Tushman that that were the kid, that were the kind of kid who's know of being a good egg. I mean, so I'm so proud that they think so highly of you. Why is that bad? What do you mean? You said it's flattering, but kind of sad too. Oh, mom noted. Well, apparently this boy has some sort of, I guess there's something wrong with his face or something like that. Not sure. Maybe he was maybe he was in an accident. Mr. Tusman said he explained a bit more when you come to school next week. This is something is happening right here, guys. Something is strange, something happening, and we are going to discover now what is happening here. Oh, mom, school doesn't start till September. He wants to meet this kid before they start school. He wants you to meet this kid before they start school. Do I have to? Mom looked a bit surprised. Well, no, of course no, he said. But I will be nice thing to do, Jack. If I don't have to do it, I said I don't want to do it. Can you at last think about it? So Jack, he is just supposing and thinking about the calendar Mr. Tushman that he's going to meet a new boy, and a special boy. And this boy was August. Okay, this boy was August. Well, I'm not going to force you, she said, but at least think about it some more. Okay, I'm not calling Mr. Tushman back until tomorrow. So just sit with with it and bet. I mean, Jack, I really don't think that much to ask you to spend a little extra time with some new kid. It's not just that he's a new kid, mom. I answered. He's deformed. That's a terrible thing to say, Jack. He is mom. He is mom. I don't even know who it is, but I do. I said because knew a second she store talking about him that it was that name August, that kid named August Carvel. I remember seeing him for the first time in front of the Carvel of Amersfoort Avenue when I was about 5 or 6. Me and Veronica, my babysitter, were sitting to the bench outside the store with Jane, my baby brother, who was sitting in his stroller facing us. I guess I was busy eating my ice cream cone because I didn't even notice the people who sat down next to us. Then at one point, I turned my head to suck the ice cream out of the bottom of my cone, and that's when I saw him. August, he was sitting next to me. I know it wasn't cool, but I kind of went off when I saw him because I honestly got scared. I thought he was wearing a zombie mask or something. It was a kind of you said when you are watching a scary movie or the or and the bad guy jumps out of the bushes. Anyway, I know it wasn't nice to me to do that, and I thought the kid didn't hear me. I know I know his sister did. So you can see here, guys, that they are talking. Uh, Jack is thinking about he doesn't want to know this to August because he saw him before in the store and he doesn't want to be friends with him. And let's go to continue. Jack, we have to go, said Veronica. She had gotten up. I was turning the stroller around because Jaime, who had obviously just noticed the kid too, was about to say something embarrassing. So I jumped up kind of suddenly, like a bee had landed on me. I followed Veronica as she thumbed away. I could hear the kid mom saying softly being us. Okay, guys, I think it's time to go. I turned around to look at him one more time. The kid was blinking his ice cream cone. Damon was picking up his soccer and his sister was glaring at, at me like she was going to kill me. I looked away quickly. Veronica, what's wrong with that kid? I whispered. Hush, boy, she said, her voice angry. I love Veronica, but when she got mad. Meanwhile, Jaime was practically spilling out of his stroller trying to get another look at Veronica pushing him away. But Veronica, but Bonica, said Jaime. The boys were very naughtily said Veronica as soon as we were farther down the block. Starting like that, I didn't mean to, I said. Veronica said Jaime. Us living like that, Veronica was muttering. Oh Lord, that poor lady, I tell you, boys. Every day we should thank the Lord for our blessing. You hear me? Bonica, what's it, Jaime? Is it Halloween? No, Jaime. Then why was that boy wearing a mask? Veronica didn't answer sometimes when she was mad about something, she would do that. He wasn't wearing a mask. I explained to Jaime. Hush, Jack, said Veronica. Hush, Jack, said Veronica. Why are you mad, Veronica? I couldn't help asking. I thought this would make her angrier, but actually she shook her head. It was a bad how we did that, she said. Just getting up like that, like we'd just seen the devil. The devil. I was scared for that, Jamie. Was going to say, you know, I didn't want, I didn't want to, I didn't want him to say anything that would hurt that little boy feelings. But it was very bad. Us living like that, that mama knew what's going on. So they are talking that Veronica, Veronica is not agree with the option to go to meet August, and she's telling that she don't want to say something to her to August because they don't want to know, uh, they don't want to interact with a special boy who is August. But we meet it. I answered. Jack, sometimes you don't have to mean to hurt someone. You understand? That was the first time I ever saw August in neighborhood. Alas, that I remember, but I've seen him around ever since then. A couple of times, a couple of times in the playground, a few times in the park. He used to wear the astronaut helmet sometimes, but I always knew it was him underneath the helmet. All the kids in the neighborhood knew it was him. Everyone has seen August at some point or another. We all know his name, though he doesn't know ours. I never seen him. I try to remember what Veronica said, but it's hard. It's hard to sneak a second look. It's hard to act normal when you see him. So Veronica, actually Veronica is being very rude because Veronica is saying that Benica is saying that Veronica is saying that she don't wants to know. She don't wants to interact with Agus. And she is, for her, it's gonna be something strong, something hard to act normal in front of Agus because Agus is a special boy. So now we are going to see, guys, why Jack changed his mind. Why guys changed his opinion about Agus. Let's go to see why I changed my mind. Who else did Mr. Tushman call? I asked Mom later that night. Did he tell you? He mentioned Julian and Charlotte. Julian, I said. Oh, why Julian? You used to be friends with Julian. Mom, that was like in kindergarten. Julian's the biggest funny there is, and he's trying so hard to be popular all the time. Well, said Tom. At last, Julian agreed to help this kid out. Go to give him credit for that. I didn't say anything because he was right. What about Charlotte? I asked. Is, i- is she doing it too? Yes, Mom said. Of course she is. Charlotte is such a goody two shoes. I answered. Boy, Jack, said Mom. You seem to have a problem with everybody these days. It's just, I start. Mom, do you have an idea what this kid look like? I can imagine. No, you can't. You've never seen him. I have. It might not even be who you are thinking it is. Trust me, it is. I'm not telling you it's really, really bad. He is the form, Mom. His eyes are like down here. I point in my cheeks, and he has no ears. On his mouth is like Jaime had walked into kitchen to get a used from box that bridge. I asked Jaime. I said, right, Jaime? Remember that kid we saw in the park after school last year? The kid named August, the one with the face? Oh, that kid, said Jaime, his eyes opening wide. He gave me a nightmare. Remember, mommy? That nightmare about the zombies from last year. I thought that was where were I thought that was from watching a scary movie. I answered mom. No, said Jaime. It's from seeing that kid. When I saw him, I was like, and I ran away. I know these kids. Wait a minute, just said mom, getting serious. Did you do that in front of him? I couldn't help him. I couldn't help it, said Jaime, kind of winning. Of course, you help it. You help it, mom. It's cool. Guys, I have to tell you, I'm really disappointed of what I'm hearing here. And she looked like how she sounds. I mean, honestly, he's just a little boy, just like you. Can imagine how feel to see you running away from him? I mean, screaming. It wasn't a scream, argued Jaime. It was like, and he put his hand on his cheeks and started running around the kitchen. Come on, Jaime, said Mom angrily. I honestly thought both of my boys were more sympathetic than that. Look, here is the word sympathetic. They are not sympathetic. What sympathetic? Said Jaime, who was the only going to the second grade. You know exactly what I mean by sympathetic, Jaime, said Mom. It just is, he is so ugly, Mom said Jaime. Hey, yeah, I don't like that word, Jaime. Just get your juice box. Uh, I want to talk to Jack alone for a second. Look, Jack, said Mom. As soon as he left, I knew she was about to give me a full speech. Okay, I'll do it, I said, which completely shook her. You will? Yes. I I can call Mr. Tushman? Yes, Mom said. I said yes. Mom smiled. I knew you'd rise the occasion, kiddo. Good for you. I'm proud of you, Jack. She messed up my hair. So here's why I changed my mind. It wasn't so I would have to hear Mom give me a full lecture, and it was to protect this August kid from Julian, who I knew would be a jerk about the whole thing. It was because when I heard Jaime talking about how he had run away from August, I shouldn't have felt really bad. The thing is, there are always going to be kids like Julian who are jerks, but it is a little kid Jane who is. Usually a nice and no kid can can be that mean. Then a kid like August doesn't stand a chance in middle school. So here we can see, guys, something important about how Jack changed his mind. And we can see that this guy is making something wrong. What is the name of that guy? Which is the name of that guy who did something wrong? Jaime, right? Jaime said something like he's not agree with the option to know August. And Jack, yes, Jack said, no, I will do it. I don't need to discriminate. I need to be sympathy with that kid. And that's something beautiful, guys, in this story. And he said that he wants to protect August from Julian, to protect August from Julian because Julian is a rude guy and he wants to protect it. Jack Will is going to protect it. So thank you guys for staying right here to the end of the video. Please go to the prompt to complete a little assignment that I already uploaded for you. And thank you for coming to class. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye bye. Don't forget to complete all your homework.